Hey everyone, my name is Jay. I am here to show you today the Notes to Prose feature where we will convert your notes to prose that you can then cut and paste into your report. So I like to start by simulating, let's say you're doing a clinical interview with a patient, right? Whether it's virtual or in person, you're talking to a person, you're observing them, and you're trying to memorize the facts and well, maybe not memorize, but you're trying to type down notes quickly, right? So in the notes here, I have a fictitious patient, a gentleman who we suspect has autism and early dementia. And so we're just jotting down things that are notable to us in a clinical interview. And as you can see, because we're typing really fast as we're talking, I simulate a lot of typos here, incomplete bullet point form, so they're not incomplete sentences. I'm using shorthand in a couple of places here. And because these are notes mostly for myself to jog my memory later, right? So they're a little bit messy and I have to do them fast as I'm talking to them. So, but I know that later this is exactly what I would need for, like, let's say the patient background in my testing report, right? So let's see how this AI tool, Notes to Prose, can help. So the first thing I do is log in and click on Notes to Prose on the left-hand side of this bar. And so the first thing that you'll notice is the instructions to the AI. And so these are my standing instructions. So every time I have an encounter with a patient, I don't want to have to repeat to the AI my standing instructions because for the most part, they're always going to be the same thing. So in this situation, I'm a neuropsychologist. I'm playing one. I'm not actually one. And I want the AI to write in a very clinical tone of voice, using clinical terminology and acronyms where possible, because let's say the report I'm writing is meant for another clinician. So the other clinician will know exactly what I'm talking about, as opposed to, let's say, writing a prose for maybe the patient's adult child, where I want it to be more readable and digestible because this person is not a clinician. So in this example, I'm assuming that the person reading this is another clinician. So I do want it to be concise. Um, and so the thing that I do want to show you is if I have any one-off instructions for the AI, I can just add it right here and say, be as concise as possible. I can add that there, and I'm not going to save. I will not hit save default instructions. And when I copy over my notes here for it to process, it will read this whole standing instructions, including a change I just added. But this will not save because this is a one-off for the patient. If I refresh, you'll see that the third bullet point is gone. Um, but if I do want to update my standing instructions to the AI, I can actually just save it. So I would say, maybe I could say some things like, I expand any contractions to use the full form. Maybe I want this to be a thing that I do with all patients. So I'll say, I'll save this as the standing instructions. So not every time I load the page, it will remember that. All right, so now let me copy my messy, very messy notes here, and I'll just hit convert to prose. So this should take just a few seconds. And once it is done, it will send me to the second step here, which is just to review the output. And here's the prose. So as you can see, it is no longer in bullet point, right? It's in a paragraph form using full form sentences, no acronyms. Well, it spells out everything, and it understands that ASD is autism spectrum disorder. And so if we compare, basically this is the first pass, right? It took this note and it changed it to turned it into 4 paragraphs here. So from here, if I'm happy with this, I can just hit this button to copy it to the clipboard, or this button here to copy it to clipboard, and then I can then paste it into my EHR or my Microsoft Word template if I have one. Excuse me. But if let's say I'm not let's say it didn't get it right the first try, and I wanted to revise and tweak a few certain things, right? So in this situation, maybe I noticed that, well, his older sister said that he de described him as a quiet and quirky child. So, um, maybe I can surgically tell it to remove comment made by the sister. Apologies. So this is a bit of a contrived example, but you can see how you can tell it to do anything, add or remove anything. And let's say I want to um, rephrase this at 12th grade reading level. So let's say I like this rephrased for not a clinician. So it'll rephrase it to make it a little bit more digestible. This could be more useful for a pediatric neuropsychs where maybe you want a version of the prose to go to the educator and not another clinician, or maybe it's a college student. So, you want it more digestible, less acronyms and so forth. So you can make anything like that. You could make this more concise and condense it more. That could be one of the things. Yep, there you go. And so hopefully these combination of tools here will help you write your reports a lot faster. And that's what we're here to do. So thank you very much for watching this. And let me know if you have any questions or any other tools you'd like to see. Thank you very much. Bye.